Okay, good evening to you all. Today is our day one of this 3-month data analytics bootcamp 4.0. This bootcamp will last for about 3 months, and today is our day one. Like always, we are going to start uh, by showing our outlines. That is what we are to cover for the day. So we'll have an introduction to this bootcamp, and then we'll look at definition of some terms. And then I'll talk about 4 questions that a data analytics person or someone who is in data analytics is supposed to answer with the skills. And then we'll look at why choosing data analytics. And then we'll talk about the data analytics journey, followed by the data analytics tools. Then I will talk about what to expect at the end of this training. And then we'll have best practice. I'll tell you some of the best practices which I believe you can adopt throughout the bootcamp. And then we'll have question and answer. Then we'll have conclusion, and then we call it a day. Okay. So introduction to this bootcamp, that's number one thing that we have on our outlines. So, the bootcamp is all about data analytics, and we are going to um, discuss about this skill. And the bootcamp will last for 3 months, which I already said that. And it's supposed to be how can I say, it's a yearly bootcamp that I always hold this paid bootcamp for once in a year, where I train people on uh, different tools, and I train them on data analytics profession. So you're going to learn much in data analytics, and we are starting afresh. That is from the beginner level. And that way, irrespective of your skills, irrespective of your level in data analytics, this bootcamp is for you, because we're going to start everything uh, from the start. So we are starting one after the other, and then we'll reach the level where maybe most of the people are. One thing about this bootcamp that I'm going to say also is a rigorous training, which uh, is going to be held almost every day. That means we have about more than 80 something days to be here together. But how it's going to be is that we're going to have 6 days straight. Then we'll have one day off. That is the seventh day is going to be off. And it's not just off like that, it's going to be your weekly assignment. So you will have a mini project, which we call it mini project. You're going to have that every seventh day of the week. So we'll have 6 days having a class, and the seventh day will be off, where you will have your assignment. We're going to hold this boot camp, like I said, every night. It's going to come off 9 p.m. to when we finish it. So it can be sometimes 1 hour, sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes even 20 minutes or less, sometimes 2 hours. It depends on what we need to cover or what we want to cover for that night. So you tighten your belt, and you should be very ready to learn, because it's going to be a long road, of course. Today is our day one. So before you know it, we'll reach day 80, day 90, and the rest. That's how it's going to be. But yeah, we don't know, but we pray. May God spare our lives to witness the last day of the boot camp. So all this, one thing about all these boot camps are that I used to hold, when we are starting, it looks like this, but when we are focused and we are determined to reach the end, before we know it, we reach the final day of it. That what the last one we did with interns, it about 6 months. We spent 6 months during the bootcamp, the data analytics bootcamp with them. And before you know it, we finish everything, and that's the end of it. Today we are no longer together. So you need to be ready. Like I said, it's going to be a long road, but Before you know it, we reach the final stage. And again, what I want to say is that please, you should expect also, you should expect a field work, a field visit, a data collection, uh, survey or assessment. You're going to do that. You're going to conduct that as part of your uh, mandatory requirements for this bootcamp is part of it. So please, you should take note on that. Again, for the assignment, your mini assignment carries 5 marks. Every day it carries every week, every assignment carries 5 marks. Should take note on that because that's the marks we are going to add up at the end of the bootcamp. Those that get 80% of the marks will issue certificate to them. Only those that got 80% over 100, that is 80 over 100, they are the one that will get certificate at the end of this. So please, if you did not send your assignment or you are not doing your assignment or you did not reach that marks, please don't expect any certificate from us. And like I used to tell people, please don't learn this because of certificate. Please, that's what I want to just remove that from your mind. In today's world, nobody cares about your certificate. Even in Nigeria, nobody cares about your certificate. What people cares about is what you can deliver, the skills you have, what you can do. That's what matters. So please don't even focus on the certificate. Focus on learning what you can do with these skills. And any mini, what do we say, any mini project or weekly assignment that you're going to do, please, they are all real works, but we'll just change the data and give you the assignment. So please try as much as you can to do the assignment by yourself. So these are the things that I will tell you in this. You need in this for you to have at the back of your mind in this training, and it's going to be live as you can see. Every day we are going to have our outlines, and we're going to cover the outlines every day until we finish this. So that's how it's going to be. So you need discipline, seriousness, and consistency to see through this entire boot camp. So I highly appeal to you to please, as from today, you need to uh, put it in your mind that you're going to be serious throughout this and you're going to learn and you're going to practice whatever you're going to learn. Don't worry, you are not the first set, you are the fourth set of this boot camp. We know how it is, we know how it works. And believe me, if you follow the classes along, even if this is the first time you are hearing data analytics, you'll learn a lot and you will grab a lot. So it's not something that say, okay, I never heard about data analytics. No, we are starting from the very beginning. So this is all what I can say in the introduction of this bootcamp, and maybe the rest of the things I will talk about them before we round up for today. So let's look at the definition of some terms. I used to introduce people whenever we are having this to some terms that many people are hearing or you are hearing from other people. Maybe you don't know what they meant, or maybe you don't know what they are all about, and data analytics included. So I'll talk about these terms so that as from today you will know what the terms are all about. Whenever you hear them, you know what they are all about and you'll know what they entails. The number one thing I will talk about is data science. Whenever you hear data science is an entire science field that dealt with data. So it's a field on its own. It's like a complete field of study on its own that it dealt with data. Anything data is it falls under data science. And that would includes artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics, deep learning, neural networks, everything, whatever you might think of that is related to data, anything, whatever it is, falls under data science. So whenever you hear data science, take it or put it in your mind that we are talking about the entire science field that dealt with data. That's what I want you to understand from today. And this science field has a lot of things. It has a lot in it. Then number two, we have data analytics. Data analytics is a profession that involves answering questions generated for better decision making. So this profession also that is part of maybe sub of data science dealt with data, but it helps in answering questions. That's why I will talk about the questions in this, and that's what we are focusing on in this bootcamp for us to learn. We want to use data in order for us to answer a lot of questions for better decision making. So the questions we are going to answer will help us to make a better decision. So that's why you hear people that say any decision that is made based on data is going to be very accurate decision. But a decision that is not made based on a data is just based on sentiment, based on whatever you might call it. You just decided to make a decision just like that without having the data to back the decision up. So the decision is going to be maybe a very wrong decision or inaccurate decision. So that's what we are going to deal with. And this bootcamp is all about that. Answering questions for better decision making. So that data analytics. Okay. So you will hear data analysis also from a lot of people. You will hear data analysis, data analysis. So data analysis is a process under data analytics. So it's like a process that you carried out during data analytics. So it's just like a process on its own. So that's what analysis is all about. So in this analytics, there are a lot of things in it. And also part of what data analytics has, data analysis is part of it. Let me explain this study before I continue with you. I used to give example using faculty in university. You know, in a university, we have a faculty of education. For example, we have faculty of education. Under faculty of education, we have education biology. We also have maybe education physics, education chemistry, education, all these are under it. So that's one thing about this data science. So like it's a faculty on its own. We have a faculty. It's a faculty on its own is the faculty entirely. Or we can even call it uh, the entire university that dealt with data, the data science. In it, there are lots of faculties in it. So let me call this sub of data and science as the faculty. There are lots of faculties in it. Maybe we have faculty of political science, faculty of law, faculty of engineering, faculty of other different faculties that we have. So this artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics, these faculties that I mentioned, artificial intelligence, data analytics, are faculties that are under data science. These are faculties under data science. So in these faculties also there are departments. So that's why we have data. So like I was saying, that the data science is the entire university, which it has different faculties under it, data analytics included. So the faculty of data analytics also has different department under it. And that's where data analysis department falls within. So in data analytics alone, there are lots of processes, not only data analysis, there are a lot of processes which we are going to look at in it, including data gathering or collection, data processing, data visualization, data. All these are things, are processes under data analytics, which we are going to learn all these processes in this bootcamp as the journey that you are going to learn throughout the bootcamp. So we'll discuss about that. So please understand this. Science is like the mother of everything. Data analytics is like sub of it, while data analysis is sub of data analytics. So please, you should understand these three. So the next thing I will talk about some of the terms is data scientist and data analyst. So there is a data scientist. Someone specialized in any of the science, data science field is a data scientist. So that data science that we discussed about, which has different faculties in it, anybody that specializes in any of the faculties that are there can be called a data scientist. So someone specialized in data analytics profession can be called a data scientist. Someone specialized in artificial intelligence can be called what? Can be called data scientist. So that's for data scientist. As for data analyst, is someone specialized in data analytics field or someone specialized in data analysis. This is this are two things that people call someone specialized in data analytics as sometimes data analyst, or they call someone specialized only in data analysis as data analyst. Because take note, I used to tell people this, there are people that are only good in data analysis. If you give them the data to visualize the data, they cannot do that. If you ask them to collect the data, they don't know how to conduct a survey to collect a data. If you even give them data to do other things, they don't know. But if you give them a data to analyze that data for you, they are very good in data analysis. So there are people like that. But in Nigeria, normally, whoever is good in that data visualization will find out that he can do data analysis. At least also he can also conduct a data collection also. So that's why you hear data analyst as someone who is very good in either data analysis alone or someone who is very good in data analytics. So these are the terms that please you need to listen, you need to learn them, you need to understand them. Whenever you hear them as from today, you know what each of these terms entails, and you know uh, where to maybe put it or where to use it. You will know that. So what I will talk about next is the four questions data analytics answered. So I already said that uh, we use it for what it for better decision. So to answer that question for better decision, that's all what the data analytics is all about. And that's what we are going to learn. So what are the questions that this data analytics answered? There are four questions. And this question has to do with number one, the question has to do with what happened. It has to do with what happened. Whenever we want to know what happened in the past, so we use that data for us to know or to understand what transpired or what happened. So that's number one thing that we use to ask. So there are a lot of occasions that happened. We want to know, we want to have idea about what that happened, and then we use data to do that. And the type of analysis we do under this to answer this, what happened, is what we call a descriptive analysis. A descriptive analysis is what will tell you exactly what has happened. So that's what we use to answer that question. So that's number one question that we answered using data. Number two question is, why did it happen? Something had happened. Yeah, we are not interested in what happened. No, now we want to know what are the genesis behind it. Why did it happen? So now that's what we are trying to understand. Why did it happen? So this is a diagnostic analysis for us to know why did something happen. So we diagnose, we conduct a survey, we collect a data, we analyze the data in order for us to see the pattern, to see the correlation between the data and the happenings, to see the correlation between the data and why did something happen. So that's another question that data analytics will help you to answer. So this profession or this faculty of data analytics, this is the second question that it will always help you to answer using data for better decision. So please, you should understand this. The next thing is, what will happen? The third question that data will help you to answer is, what will happen? So now you'll use the data for you to predict what will happen, for you to maybe foresee what might happen in the future using the data by me looking at the trend of the data, how the data is coming up, how the data is growing, how the data is accumulating by people or created by people. You know that there are issues. You know that things might happen in the future based on the data. So this is the analysis that we did that we call a predictive analysis that help us to predict what might happen in the future. That is what will happen. So that's one thing that also a data will help you to answer using the data. So it's not just like that. You just come and tell people that, okay, by 2050, things are going to do this in Nigeria, things are going to do this in Nigeria. If you don't have data that will back that up, definitely you are just saying what you want to say like that. But if you have a data, by me looking at the data, okay, you can talk. Okay, by looking at the data of graduates in Nigeria by so time, there will be a lack of maybe medical doctors, lack of veterinary doctors, lack of lawyers, lack of a lot of profession because a lot of people now are focusing on content creation rather than focusing on these professions. There are a lot of things that if you look at the data, you will understand that. And like I always tell people that you see data, you are just seeing numbers, but data is always trying to communicate with people. Always is always trying to communicate with people, and data is telling people a lot of things. It's just like we tend to not to listen to the data. We tend not to listen. We tend to ignore the data. We tend to do our things without resorting to the data. So, but data is always trying to warn people, trying to alert people, trying to tell people a lot of things. And a data analyst or someone who is vast in this data analytics will understand this, will analyze the data, will look at the data. And if you ask the person, he can tell you what will happen based on the data he analyzed. That's another thing. So again, the next thing will that the question that this data help you to answer is what will be done. S- Sorry, is what will be done or what can be done to change the future? That's another question that data analytics answered. What can be done to change the future? Based on the data given to you, you can say a lot about the data that, yeah, of course, this data is going to be used to do, or this data, we can use the analyzed data for us to prevent this, for us to do this in order for us to prevent the happening of something, or for us to solve a particular, it can be outbreak, it can be anything based on the data. Or what are we going to do in order for us to prevent the happening of something in the future? Okay, you might figure out that, yeah, based on this data, it showed that we are going to have a lot of out of school children by 2030, for example. Then, of course, as a data analyst, you will think of what can be done also to change that happening. Based on the data, if you look at the data clearly or carefully, there are always a pattern in the data. There are patterns, and that patterns are what cause the issue or what might cause the issue. Always in data, there are always factors that create the pattern that bring about something. So these are the things, these are the four questions that as a data analyst, whenever you are analyzing data or whenever you are doing a work or you are doing something related to data, you as a data analyst, this is what you should focus on. This is what you should focus, and these are the questions you should learn how to answer. These are the questions you should learn how to answer. And always your analysis should focus more on these questions. So that's what this data analytics is all about. So please put it in your mind that all this analysis is not about the fancy of your dashboard. It's not about the fancy of whatever noise making maybe you will do about the data. No. In as much as you are not going to answer any of these four questions, you are just doing something on your own. You are not talking about this profession. And this number four that I say, what can be done to change the future is the prescriptive analysis. Is the what prescriptive analysis. Now you are bringing the solution. Now you are bringing the way forward. you are telling people based on the data, this is what should be done in order for you, or in order to prevent this, or in order to do this, or in order to get this, or in order to achieve this. So that's it. So please understand this for questions. And I said, let me say it again. What happened? We use descriptive analysis. Why did it happen? We use diagnostic. What will happen? We use predictive, and what can be done to change the future? We use prescriptive analysis. So these are the four questions you need to learn, you need to understand whenever you are analyzing data. These are what you are answering. Okay. So the next thing we are going to discuss about is why choosing data analytics. So it's just like it's the most demanded job in the world. That's one thing, and that's why I focus on it. Yes, before I'm conducting a lot of different uh, tech skills bootcamp, software development, graphic design, video animations, data analytics. I'm teaching people all this because they are part of things that, yes, of course, I've been learning them, I've been working with them, but to tell you the truth, data analytics is the most demanding job in the world. And the reason is that all tech skills that you see in the world are always going back to data analytics. All the tech skills you know in the world are going back to data analytics. Cybersecurity, digital marketing, software development, anything you can list all the tech skills you know. They are always about data. They are always about data. And there has to be a data analyst in every industry, in every department, in every sector, anywhere they need data analysts because every industry, every profession, every sector, every businesses, they have what they need someone who what help them to answer these four questions that I just mentioned. So that why it becomes the most demanded job. People with these skills are always in need by a lot of people. But I'm sorry to say, it's Nigeria. Up till today, not all ministries, agencies, department, organizations knows the value of people with these skills. Not all of them. Not all of them. Some they knew, some they did not. But despite that, we need people to have the skills because once you have the skills, of course, yeah, you will get job. Definitely is something that you will never be jobless when you have these skills because it's the most demanded in the world. And like I said, another thing is why you need to choose this or why you need to learn these skills is because you can work anywhere with the skills. People think that when they are learning data analytics, like they are changing profession. You don't need to change. You are not changing your profession. Stay who you are. Stay with your profession. You studied agriculture. Stay with your agriculture. Become a data analyst, so you can work in agricultural sector. You studied microbiology. You study uh, physics or education physics, you studied veterinary medicine or medical doctor, you are a lawyer, whoever you think you are, or whatever profession you studied, these skills can help you to work efficiently in any profession. So don't be surprised you studied agric, you find yourself in hospital working as a data analyst. Don't even be surprised about that. You can find yourself anywhere with these skills. Okay, another thing is very easy to start. It's a skill that requires nothing. Yeah, there are a lot in these skills that you hear people saying that whenever you want to learn data science, you need to be very good in statistics, very good in mathematics, very good in other studies like that. Yes, they're talking about data science and not data analytics. Like I told you, data science has a lot under it, which of course there are a lot of things in it, which if you're not good in that, you'll be lost along the road. Of course, there are lots of that profession, especially when you are under maybe machine learning, you go do deep into maybe deep learning, you go into artificial intelligence. You see, there are many things there that, of course, yeah, it requires someone who is vast in all these statistics, vast in mathematics, and the rest. So, of course, yeah. But data analytics is very, very easy to start. You can start it at any time. Like you, all of you now, even if you never had the word until today or tonight, as it is today, you started the learning the profession. So it's very easy to start. It requires nothing, not even a secondary school. certificate. Even at primary school level, we teach some student at primary school, primary 5, 4, 6. They are capturing, they understand, they learn. They can do a lot of things in this data analytics profession. So it requires, irrespective of your age, profession, level of whatever, so you can learn it. It's very, very easy to start. Very easy to start. And also it's a high paid job, of course. Yeah. Data analysts are getting a very high paid job because most of the works you are going to do is going to be a very sensitive work. So of course they used to get money when they get the job because they are going to be placed at the heartbeat of maybe the organization or maybe the company or something like that, because they will be dealing with data, and the data they will be dealing with, people will rely on them based on the data. If, assuming in Nigeria, we are using the data to answer this poll question, believe me, data analysts are going to be a very hot cake. Everywhere they are, they will be a hot cake because they will help the ministry, the agency, in order for them to know what will happen, why did it happen, what happened, what can be done to change the future, and all this. But time will come that, of course, we are going to resort to this, and we are going to answer a lot, all these questions using our data. So these are the things why you need to choose this. And the next thing I'll talk about is data analytics journey. So these are the journey. This is the journey you just started tonight. So we'll look at this journey of data analytics. It started from data collection and entry. That's the very starting point of it. So you start with how to gather a data, how to get a data, how to collect data, how to do a lot. That's how it's all started. So, but yeah, we're going to start with data entry, not the collection. Don't worry. You will do the collection when the time comes. We'll send you for the collection, but that's where it started. The data entry or data collection, that's where it started. How to develop a questionnaire, how to conduct a survey. This is the first stage of this data analytics journey. The next thing is data cleaning and formatting. So after you conduct a data collection, or you conduct a data survey, or you conduct a data entry, there is this stage that has to do with data collecting and data cleaning and formatting. So this is where you're going to format the data, you clean the data, you sure that you have to be very sure that the data is very ready to use. That is for analysis. You have to make the data very ready. The next thing is to move to data analysis and visualization. That's the next stage. So after you clean the data, you transform the data, you finish all the data wrangling and transformation. Now you move to data visualization and analysis. So you conduct your analysis. After the analysis, then you create the graphical representation of the data, which is visualization. So you do that for easy understanding. That is people that are not good in, or they don't even know what analysis is all about, or they are not good in numbers. You just create a visualization for them so that they will see the, maybe the graphs, the all the visuals that you want them to see, they will see and they will understand it easily. So the last stage of it is data reporting and sharing. That's the final stage in the journey. So when you reach a data reporting and sharing, you report first. You create a report. You write a report. There are different reports, a lot of reports that we have. We have all these feasibility report. We have analytical report. We have a lot of compliance report, different report, research reports. We have lots of different reporting. So when you are writing a data report based on your analysis, you write a report, your findings, what you have answered, what you have discovered, what you want to say, a lot of things. You write your report in that. And then you shared the report. You share the report with the stakeholders or with the people that, supposed to see the report and the rest. You share the report with them. Then they will see the report and, yeah, this is the report conducted by you. And that's where your job stopped. So for them to act on the report or for them to use the report, that's left for them. That's left for them. But you, when you report and you share the report with them, you are done. That's where your journey ended, and that's where you need to go home. So for them to act on the report, for them to work with the report, that's not your cup of tea. So it's left for them to do whatever they want. But these are the stages that data analytics that we have in data analytics. And you're going to learn all these stages. But don't worry, it's like we're not going to follow, maybe don't think that okay, we are going to follow this stage. This. Of course, it's going to be like that. But like I said, data collection is coming after a lot of things, but we are going to use data entry as the first stage. But data collection will come in between these stages that we have. It will come in between them, and then you will go and conduct the data collection to learn more about that. Then we come back. Then when you come back, you continue with the rest of this. So there are different data collection tools used for all these works that we just mentioned, the data collection, the data processing and formatting, the data analysis and visualization, data reporting and sharing. There are a lot of tools used for that. So you see, the journey has a lot of things, and that's why I'm going to talk about the tools that all these tools you see are meant for data analytics. So we have Excel, we have Power BI, we have Tableau, we have SQL, we have Python, we have R, we have ODK, we have SPSS, we have Stata. All these are tools that, as a data analyst person, are tools that you need to learn. Of course, you need to learn all these tools. Yeah, I teach people all these tools, but believe me, you are not going to learn all this in this bootcamp. You are not, because some of them up till now in Nigeria, we're not using them most. But of course, yeah, we're going to use some of this because there are a lot in this, which even if I said I'm going to teach you all this in within 3 months, you will not believe me. So I don't want us to rush a lot. I don't want us to rush everything. So I'm going to teach you most essential tools you need for this data analytics. And these are the tools you are going to expect. That is Excel, Power BI, SQL, Open Data Kit, PowerPoint. Yeah, we need PowerPoint. I didn't put it there, but we need it here because I talk about data sharing and reporting. So for you to create a report on your analysis and sharing, PowerPoint is the best tool for that. So of course you are going to learn PowerPoint, and there are a lot of other tools you're going to learn, the ComCare, Google Form for data collection and the rest. So these are the tools we are going to cover in this bootcamp. We're going to cover them all. So you need to be ready. But yeah. You need to be ready. We're going to cover them all. The only tool that I will not, I will tell you please to get, which I'm not going to show you how to install it and the rest is just Microsoft Excel, which the first one we're going to start with. So I believe all of you have it in your laptop. Even if you don't, please by tomorrow try as much as you can to get it. But for the Power BI, for the SQL, you don't need it. You don't need to have it on your laptop for now. Don't worry. During this bootcamp, I'll take you through how to install it, how to download it, how to install it, how to start using it, and the rest. So, but Excel, I believe all of you can get it. It's not something difficult. I believe every laptop has that. Not all I know, not all, but most of the laptops has Microsoft Excel in them. And don't worry about the version. If you have the updated version, 365 is okay. 2019 is okay. 16 is okay. 13 is okay. 7 is even okay. So don't push yourself. It depends on what type of laptop you are using and the rest. So I will advise you on some of these the best practices that I use to advise people in most of my boot camps and most of my classes. So I will say this, do not assume it all. Whenever you are learning something new, if you assume you knew it all, yeah, of course, it's going to be on you. So focus and learn. We're going to teach you the practical of all this. It's going to be 100% hands-on. So we're going to teach you this, and I've been working with these tools for more than 10 years. So it's something that, yeah, I'm going to share my experience with this. I'm going to share the experience with of the tools with you. And of course, I've been teaching people of this. I know what is difficult with the people. I know why or what you are going to use most in your maybe day-to-day activities and other things. So don't assume it also that you will not be left behind. So I always advise people on this. So some people will start, so they'll not come back to the class till after 20 days. Believe me, if you like, go. After after 1 week, if you come back after 1 week, that is on our day. 8th, if you come back on the 8th, believe me, you cannot follow this bootcamp at all. Let me just tell you this. If you come back by a week, you cannot follow this bootcamp. That's one thing about it. So, but I highly advise you to don't assume you need it or follow the classes and you continue. Make sure you follow all the classes. I already said that. Do not move to the next until you are good with the previous one. Yeah, all the classes are changed. Everything we are going to teach you are changed. You see, we are going to spend like 86 to 90 days. These days, every day we already schedule everything. We have our outlines ready. So day 1 to day 86, we have what we are going to teach you. So follow all these classes because they are changed. So if you miss today's class, maybe tomorrow I start talking about something you might start asking me. So someone will come tomorrow and start telling me, when are we going to have the classes? When are we going to do that? I already said that at the beginning of this class. So I don't know. So followed all the classes. You follow them. When you follow them, believe me, you will be very okay with this. And we are starting like we will start with crawling, then we'll start moving, then we'll start, trying to stand up. That's how it's going to be. And we will start, there will be a time we will start running and we are going to have a fire brigade approach. So at that time, if you are not with us when we start crawling, believe me, it will be very difficult for us to even know where we are heading to. So that were all these fancy dashboard maybe you might see from our student, our interns, and our things. If you're not following this class, there's no way you can be able to do that. No way. No matter how maybe good you think you are, you have to follow the classes. You have to focus and understand what we are doing. So again, please do all the assignment by yourself. That what will save you in test, maybe interview, in all job application and whatever. That what will save you. This mini project we are going to give you is what you will put in your CV. Is what you will capture as your working experience, and that what you will get a lot of will is getting uh hired or is getting interview by most of our interns. That what they used to get interview. This assignment that you are seeing, this mini project will give you weekly. Please try to do it by yourself. I, I can recall someone that our first week assignment, that first weekly mini project that we gave, he told us that that's the test that he did when he go for LGA facilitator position in World Health at World Health Organization. The assignment we gave them in first week, that what they gave them, the same question they gave them at the interview. And he at the time, as at the time he did the interview, he has no idea what to do. He has no idea what to do then. But when he was intern with us, he knew what to do. Maybe assuming he can be called again for that interview, believe me, he can do the interview. So I highly recommend do the assignment by yourself so that you can be able to do things by yourself. Even at your job place, maybe you are still working, you can do a lot of things by yourself as you are learning this. Okay, be very serious within this 3 months. 3 months is a long journey to some people. To me, I'm not seeing it that big because I spent 6 months just last 2 week month I finished it. It's February I finished it, I think. Yeah. It's in February, 20 something February. So it's not that long I finished 6 month journey with some people. So but to you, if this is the first time you are doing this, you might find it maybe very difficult to adopt, very difficult to focus, very difficult to do. But to me, it's okay. I wish you to you find it something to be serious. And please let me say this. Some of you we are going to do this and there's going to be a Salah day maybe during this. Please, we are going to have our class on Salah day also. So that someone will say that even as in all our boot camps, this data analytics boot camp, Salah day, that is a Eid al-Adha used to fall under this would come. Always Salah Baba used to fall under this. So, but even on the day of Salah, if in as unless maybe that day falls on maybe your weekly assignment when you have assignment. So if you have assignment on that day, we are not going to have a class. But if we have a class that day, believe me, we'll come by 9, finish our class, then we go back and continue it in our meet. You can even come with your meet. I'm the one to make the noise, so you listen to it. When I'm done, you continue. So we are going to have our class. That's to show you how very serious we are in this. So if you did not understand, please give it time and practice. So you practice what you did not understand. Please try as much as you can to practice. I'll try my best to Yeah, I used to do that, but it's just a privilege. Please, some of you should don't make it something a habit. You will not attend the class since I'm recording it and I'm sending the recorded class to you, so you will not attend the class. If it is because of that, I have bunch of all these bootcamps that I did the previous one. I have the recorded classes. I have the recorded videos. If I want, maybe I'll just collect maybe your money. I collected your money. Then I will just start dropping links to you just to go and watch. I will just go and keep doing my things. I don't do that. I don't do that. I teach people uh I always teach people differently. So what I will tell you, all the things I'm going to tell you, or the maybe exercise we are going to do, practical examples we are going to solve, are quite different from the examples maybe I did before. Because I did not write anything, I don't have transcript of anything, I don't have handout of anything. I teach you by experience. So if I said, okay, I will send you the previous video that I did last year to this year, of course, in 12 months, believe me, I updated my knowledge, of course. So even next year, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to teach them. I'm not going to send them your video. I'm going to teach them differently from what I teach you. So please don't rely on that videos. Don't rely on that pre-recorded videos. Attend the class. That shows how serious and how you're going to capture whatever it is. Come to the class, attend the class, and that recording that I told, I didn't promise you that recording. Sometimes it happens in some of the classes. I will say I'll record at the end of the class, I'll put the recording. Maybe it did not record anything, or maybe when I record it at the end of the day, I'll look for it, it's gone, or something like that. So there are a lot of factors that maybe will hinder the recording, even if I wanted to. So I don't want you to focus on the recording. I want you to focus on attending the class and learning live. The way we are doing it live, the way we dedicated our time to do this with you live, you too, you should dedicate your time always to be here by 9. Believe me, you are serious, you are focused to learn something. 80 days learning something, believe me, you have to be good in that. Even not very good or best in it, at least you're supposed to be good in learning whatever you spend 80 days doing. Every day you did it for 80 days, it becomes your habit and you learn it for good. So please, you have to try as much as you can to do this. So thank God. This is where we are going to hold it for today, because today is more of this introduction, because I want you to understand this and to learn some things about what we are going to start. So tomorrow we are going to start fully the class. And like I said, this class is just, it's not a pre-recorded class, it's a live class. And apart from it being a live class, it's not a maybe scripted class. So don't expect any handout from me. Don't expect any note from me. Don't expect any slide from me. Don't expect anything. If you like, create your own, what do we call it? Create your note, write your note, write whatever you want to write. Yeah, that's it. So that's how it's going to be. So this is where I'm going to stop. If you have questions or you need clarifications, please go ahead, ask me. Ask me, go ahead and ask, because this is introduction and this is maybe the first time we are meeting with some of you. So please, if you have a question or clarification, go ahead, ask your question, drop your question in the chat. I'll read out the question. I will respond to you if I know the answer. If I did not, I'll tell you I did not know your answer. Then we continue. If you don't have any question, we are going to draw the curtain here for today and we meet tomorrow.